Come on, Miko, win this draw.
Voivu toss from the circle. Artemi Panarin.
All right, Artemi.
Against Brian Boyle. And Boyle wins the draw cleanly.
Get that back, get that back. Let's go.
Get it out of their zone. Rasmus Ristolainen. He gets it over to Matt Nieto. He scores! Matt Nieto ices the cake, and the Washington Capitals are going to take Game 5 and head back to Washington, D.C. on Friday night.
All right, what else is on?
Will get
Good evening, it's that time of the year again, folks. It's time for the 2018 edition of the EHE Draft Lottery. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I am the Commissioner of the Elite Hockey Experience, Kevin Lacey, and I thank you for joining me this evening. This is always one of the most fun things we do in our league, and tonight we will find out who will draft first overall, or unless they trade the pick, but I don't know why you would in this draft, or most drafts, but who will secure the right to the first overall selection in this year's draft. We, of course, are recording the proceedings here so that it can be preserved and there could not be any question as to what has occurred here tonight. I will show you a copy, as always, of the San Jose Mercury News. Let's see if it actually shows the date on the camera for once this year. It is Wednesday, May 23rd, 2018. I really hope you can see that. Unfortunately, there's no hockey on the cover. It's basketball. Don't care. But anyway, yeah, so it is May 23rd, 2018. It is 8:34 p.m., much later than usual. That's kind of how it's been this season. The season started later. The draft lottery is a little bit later. Playoffs. But here we are. We're finally here. So all team representatives, except for Harvey the Hound, you are not welcome here. Get out. You get the Dan Boyle treatment, Harvey. Get out. You were not invited. Okay. So all team representatives who were invited, plus randomly selected members of the media joining us to witness this event, will be locked in this room without food and water in pretty much a Saw-like atmosphere. See, the last team whose representative is still alive at the end of this will earn the right to the first selection in the 2018 EHE Entry Draft. Or we will conduct 3 drawings using a weighted lottery system to determine the order of the first 15 selections in the 2018 EHE Entry Draft. The first drawing will decide the team receiving the first overall selection. The second drawing will decide the team receiving the second overall selection, and the third drawing will decide the team receiving the third overall selection. The remaining 12 clubs participating will be assigned selections 4 through 15 based on inverse order of their regular season point total in 2017-18. As always, this trusty random number generator will select 3 numbers ranging from 1 through 1,000. All numbers were assigned to each team at random by random.org, and the same number assignments will be used for each of the 3 drawings. The odds for the first drawing and the percentage of numbers assigned to each team are listed on the screen right now at this moment. The list of the random number lookup chart was also posted last week on EliteHockeySim.com, so you should have that available. And of course, if you really want to have a lot of fun with this, don't look at it until after we're done here. Just go through the motions here and find out who truly does get those 3 lottery picks tonight. But if you're not fun, then you can just skip to the end or look at your list or whatever. But so be it. Let's run some tests here. 1 through 1,000. There are no numbers that get repeated, but this will be reset after the test. So 232 could have been a winner. 727 could have been a winner. 530 could have been a winner. And they still could be winners because I am clearing the history right now. So from this point on, the club assigned the very next, the first number drawn, will secure the right to the first overall selection and receive, I guess, in the 2018 EHE Entry Draft. This club will not be eligible in the second and third drawings, and all numbers assigned to to this club for the subsequent drawings will be designated as redraw numbers. And folks, I was so happy that the real NHL this year actually had a redraw number. It doesn't happen to just us like it did last year. Oh boy. Similarly, the club assigned to the second non-replicated number drawn will receive the second overall pick and will not be eligible in the third drawing. All numbers assigned to that club will be designated as redraw numbers for that third drawing as well. Now, please note that this draft lottery determines the order of selection for the first round only. For all subsequent rounds, the order reverts to the original order established by inverse order of the regular season and playoff results. There are 3 trade transactions that everyone should be aware of. The Vancouver Canucks hold the right to the first round pick formerly owned by the New York Rangers in the 2018 EHE Entry Draft. The Florida Panthers, wait, hang on, did I mess that up? Okay, if I messed it up, oh boy, here we go. But the Vancouver Canucks hold the right to the first round pick of the New York Rangers. The Florida Panthers hold the rights to the original Vancouver Canucks first round pick in this year's draft. And then there's the Vegas Golden Knights who hold the rights to the St. Louis Blues first round pick. And I guarantee that Sean Stevens is really rooting for 2 teams to jump up into the top 3 over that pick this year, because oof, that's a rough one. But Vegas has the St. Louis pick in this year's draft. Now, does anyone have any questions before we proceed? No, I do not plan on screwing up anymore. And yes, we have taken, that's a great question. We have taken every precaution to ensure that there will be no Russian hacking during this proceeding. Just don't mind that. No, don't pay any attention to that.
Хорошо, давай начнем.
Or that. Don't just, yeah. No, there's been no hacking. Okay, so anyway, enough of the shtick. Let's go. Let's find out who will get their number drawn anyway for the first overall selection.
953.
953, way at the end of the list. All right. So let's see who that is, or at least I'm going to see, and you can look later, I hope, because, okay, all right. So there's your first overall selection. Moving on to the second number drawn for the second overall pick.
30.
30? They're going to make me look through all this here. All right, so up to number 30. Bet you it's a redrawn number. Oh, it's not! Okay. Okay, so then 489, and then we go right in the middle. So boy, the random number generator really went all over the board here this year. 489, of course, is okay. No redraws. Take that, NHL. Okay, so let's go on here. Again, I'm going to show you the odds of winning here in the meantime. That's also what we refer to as a stall tactic, folks. A stall tactic. Okay. So let's begin. Let's almost begin. Okay, now let's begin. Dun, 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 dun. It's back. The nice giant numbers. Woo! I don't know why I'm holding my phone up anymore, because we're not drawing any more numbers this year. Okay, so the 15th, I'm still not used to saying that, by the way, the 15th overall selection in this year's EHE Entry Draft belongs to the Winnipeg Jets. The Winnipeg Jets and their 1%. Hey, you had a better chance than last year. New Jersey had 0.9, so you had a better shot at Rasmus Dahlin or trading the first overall pick or whatever. But Joe, you will be drafting 15th. Moving on now to selection number 14. That was the former New York Rangers selection, and will it go to Vancouver or someone else? It's the Vancouver Canucks, the very first time Vancouver is in the draft lottery, and they will draft 14th. Up to number 13. Will it be lucky number 13 for Detroit as they move up? Or, nah. In fact, Cisco, I'm not even going to call you because we don't got time for that. And, yeah. So you're 13th. You were 3rd last year, 13th this year, and time to get back in the playoffs, buddy. All right, moving on to number 12. Number 12 in this year's entry draft belongs to... it's the New Jersey Devils. The New Jersey Devils. So no one has moved up here so far in the first 4 picks. Moving along to pick number 11. Pick number 11 in this year's draft goes to the New York Islanders. The New York Islanders who have had some interesting times in previous draft lotteries. Once again, and just like Detroit, time to get back in the playoffs, New York. That was a team I actually expected to be a dark horse this year. I'm sure Tony thought so as well. But yeah, New York out of the playoffs, and they're drafting 11th overall. Moving on to pick number 10. 10 will be the Florida Panthers. So Vancouver, in a weird way, moves down 4 spots. This was Vancouver's pick until they traded it to Florida. Or, I'm not really sure of the sequence. I think it actually went to someone else and then bounced to Florida. But regardless, Florida is picking 10th overall despite being in the playoffs for the very first time. And I do want to congratulate the Florida Panthers, the Vegas Golden Knights, the Philadelphia Flyers. I challenged you, Wes, last year at the draft lottery to make the playoffs, and you did it, man. You did it. And then the Columbus Blue Jackets, another team that I felt really should have been pushing for a playoff spot for a couple of years. Those 4 teams, for the very first time, made the playoffs this year, so that's really exciting. Now, moving on to pick number 9. Pick number 9. Could it be Nashville? Nashville wins all the draft lotteries that they always seem to be involved in. What's going to happen? Oh, no! Eric, your streak is over. The Nashville Predators are drawing 9th. Moving on to 8th. The 8th overall selection in this year's draft belongs to the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Tampa Bay Lightning, now, they were the other team that I challenged last year to make the playoffs, and they didn't. And to my knowledge, they are now only one of 2 teams in league history who have still not made the playoffs. However, I will commend you, Justin. I have to give you props. Tampa Bay made a very strong push to make the playoffs, made a number of trades, really improved their roster this year, and the sim gods just, it wasn't working out. And I guess it wasn't working out because the real Lightning got eliminated from the playoffs tonight. So anyway, Justin, I hope you make it next year. Big improvement on your roster, big improvement on submitting your lines. I appreciate that. But let's move on to pick number 7. Pick number 7, a brand new general manager, Joe Bubanj, I think. It might be Bubani. I need you to let me know how to say your last name. I don't know if the J is silent. But Joe, are you going to pick 7th, or are you moving up? Hey, you're picking 7th. So far, through the first 8 picks here, everything's still the same. So is this going to be the year that no one moves up? Moving on to pick number 6, the Arizona Coyotes. Off a 7-game winning streak to end the season. They were, I believe, in 3rd to worst. They were 29th overall, I believe, and then they won their last 7 games. But will Arizona be right here? Will they have gotten a number taken? No, they didn't. They're at 6th overall. This is the actually the latest Arizona has picked in quite a long time. So it's time to make the playoffs, Tim. It's your turn to get back in the playoffs. By the way, congratulations to Reading for sweeping Lehigh Valley. That's a stunner. Like I said, I told you to put Leland Irving in. So, way to go. Way to go. Pick number 5 in this year's draft belongs to the San Jose Sharks. San Jose picks 5th overall. So, Kyle, that farm team is stacked, but it's time to get the NHL club going, and I know you You were dealt a sour hand, but make the best of it, man. Fifth overall. Moving on to the 4th overall selection in this year's draft. 4th overall belongs to the Buffalo Sabres! The Buffalo Sabres fell again. I think they fell either last year or the year... Yeah, last year. Maybe they moved up 2 years ago, I think, from 9 to 3rd. Last year, they fell from 1st to 4th, I think. And this year, Buffalo falls again. Oh, Roberto. Oh, Roberto. So the Buffalo Sabres are 4th overall, which means that the Montreal Canadiens have moved up, but Vegas has somehow stayed the same, or moved up. Let's find out here. What's going to happen? We've got 3 teams. The Calgary Flames, the Montreal Canadiens, as I said, and the Vegas Golden Knights. So who's it going to be? Find out after this No, I'm not going to play the Get Duran donations. I'm still, thank you all again for your donations over the past season. Very kind of all of you. And you're more than welcome to continue to donate for this upcoming season, but we still have enough proceeds for the 18-19 season, so we're good there. 3rd overall pick in this year's draft belongs to the Vegas Golden Knights. The playoff, they're beating the Los Angeles Kings, I believe 3-1 in the series. Did you play tonight? I was too busy being sour over losing to the Capitals tonight. So Vegas leading at the very least in their series, and they get the 3rd overall pick. The 2nd overall pick in this year's draft, I don't do this like the real NHL, just because I think it's lame that they go from 3 to 1. So the 2nd overall pick, it's a Canadian team. We know that. Which one will it be? The West or the East? The 2nd overall pick belongs to Les Habitants de Montréal, which means that the number 1 pick in this year's draft belongs to the Calgary Flames. Calgary, who had the best odds of winning by virtue of having the worst, smelliest, most putrid season in the history of the EHE. Although your prospect pool is very, very nice, I will say, Steven. Steven, you cannot afford to have another shit-tacular season like you did this year. But I guess it worked out because you are drafting 1st overall in the 2018 EHE Entry Draft. So again, wow. Calgary Flames. Whew. Okay. So Calgary, Montreal, and Vegas are 1, 2, and 3. Now in the forum, of course, I have asked for your recommendations for which date you would like the draft to be. It will most definitely begin at the end of July, as I will be on vacation in August. I pretty much haven't had a vacation from the league in almost 2 years, thanks to the expansion draft last year. So yeah, I'm going to be taking a nice long vacation in the month of August. So get those July recommendation dates. The 22nd, I gotta look at the calendar. I should know this. I believe it's the 21st, the 22nd, the 28th, or the 29th. Let me know what you decide. Saturdays are available again, thanks to my work schedule being much, much nicer. But once again, congratulations, Calgary. You've won the EHE Draft Lottery. And let's congratulate the teams who have advanced in the playoffs so far. And congratulate the Washington Capitals in real life. But screw you to the Washington Capitals in the EHE. Because now I have to go back to Washington and try and beat you there. It better happen, or maybe I'll just take the month of June off as well. Anyway, have a good night, guys.